Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sivadas Madhavan, Associate Professor of English, Sodo University, Ethiopia. Today I am going to talk about the title of research. Title of research is to be constructed with great care. The main reason is that title is the first opportunity for you to show what your research is, or a reader takes the research paper and looks at the title first. If the title is not impressive, he will not be tempted to read the rest of the paper. So the first thing that a researcher has to take care of is the title of the research. And the most important rule about writing a research title is it must be short, on the topic, and attractive. So these 3 points, not only for research, for any writer, when you construct a title, you have to keep this in your mind. It must be short, on the point or on the topic, and attractive. Actually, when research scholars try to develop the research title, they will have so many constraints, or so many they have to follow so many rules and regulations, and the most important one is the documentation style. If you follow APA has American Psychological Association, it has its own rules about making the title. They say that it should not be too long. They restrict the size of the title to around 15 content words. It should not be more than that. If it is more than that, it will be too bulky. The content words means the main words, the lexical words. The content words are nouns, adjectives, verbs, or adverbs. All the other grammatical words can be as many as you want. That also you have to use carefully with grammatical accuracy. So the 3 points, remember, it must be short, it must be on the topic, and it must be attractive. And when we write the research paper, the research title, you have to take care of your research. And to formulate the research title, there are so many rules. Actually, there is no hard and fast rule about the title. There is no rule at all. No one can say that there is a rule, but the common practice the people do. And the common practice to control yourself is that ask so many questions. You see, there are some steps. First thing is ask so many questions about the research. So you can ask, what is my research about? So you can say, for example, the answer, that's a question, and the answer is, it's about the extra tuition classes to the first year students of the university. Okay, so you ask the question and you got the answer. And you can ask other questions like, what technique did I use, or what design did I use, or what method did I use? So you can say it's an experimental study, or it's a study to conduct experiments. So, okay, so it's an experimental study. And next question, who did I study, or what did I study? So you can say, I study the boys and girls of the first year students of the southern universities in Ethiopia. Okay, that is your answer. And what are the results? Results will depend on the test. It must be tested. The results must be tested. So this type of questions will be asked and you have the answers. So the first step is ask so many questions to get answers on your research topic or on your research. And when you have the answers, you are asking yourself. You are not asking any other person, you are asking to yourself. And when you ask yourself, you will have your own answers to your questions. And remember that questions, note down those questions, and take the key words of these answers and frame a long sentence, a descriptive sentence. So in that case, if you take this example of conducting extra tuition classes, you can say this study is to see the effects of extra tuition classes to the first year undergraduate students of the southern universities of Ethiopia. So if you take it like that, it becomes a very long sentence. And from this, so the second step is make a long descriptive sentence using the key words of the answers to your questions that you asked first. That is the second step. And the third step is to narrow it down. That means you will remove the unnecessary words and you will take only the important words. So in that case, the title can be something like this: the effects of the extra tuition classes for the first year undergraduate students of the southern universities in Ethiopia. So it became short. It becomes short. And the content words will be only 11. Content words means the lexical words, the main word classes: noun, adjective, verb, adverb. These are the content words. So only 11 words will be there in that title. So this is one way of forming a title of the research paper. Actually, I told you there is no hard and fast rule, but this is a way to restrict yourself, to guide yourself to write an appropriate title of the research. And then it will be suitable to your research. And the title will show what the topic is. It will show, or it will communicate the topic to the reader or to the person who sees the research paper. That is number one. And when a person reads this research paper or the title of the research paper, he will understand what approach you selected. So effects, the effects of, the term the effects of shows that it is an experimental study. So a cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship, after the study you can say that the researcher has conducted a quantitative research, or he has investigated the problems related to the students who study the extra tuition classes, etc. So the approach, the research approach is clear from the term the effects, and it will show the outcome of the research. Outcome of the research here we have to, that means it is a quantitative study and it will be a numerical outcome, and there will be a positive or negative result, etc. So about outcome you get a hint from the title itself, and it will be clear that the clarity of the research will also be seen in the title. And the focus of the researcher, the focus is on the extra tuition classes in the universities. So whether these extra classes are fruitful or not, or the focus in the southern universities in Ethiopia, that means in this locality the study settings, the research settings is also clear in the research title. And the uniqueness of the research, what special nature of research you have, that's also clear in the title. And it must be humorous. So in this case there is no humor in it, but if possible, when you formulate the research title, you can have some sort of humor if you can. So these are the main traits of or the main characteristics of a research title, because these titles are very, very important when it comes to the examination, the evaluation of the thesis or dissertation. When your dissertation is examined, the researcher or the research guide or the research evaluator will look at the title first and see your hypothesis or your objectives or your research questions, etc. Not only research questions, even the scope of the study or the delimitation of the study, the constraints of the study, etc. So if your objectives are not tallying with the title, they will not accept it. So everything, and the discussion of the data you collected should also be related to the title, and your conclusion must also be related to the title, and the title must show in the limited level the knowledge gap which you are looking for. So the knowledge gap the researcher is looking for must be hinted in the title itself. So if you write a correct title, all this will be ready, and then the rest will be very easy. So most of the time you will not be able to have a final research title in the beginning when you start. First, in the beginning you start with a working title. So as you go on with your studies, most of the time you will be forced to modify the title. You will have to modify the title, or you will have to change the title, because the data that you collect and the study that you conduct will compel you to make some modifications in the title. Your method or your approach, etc. will be changed, and when you change your methods and approach, you have to change the title also. That means the corresponding change will be there in the title, otherwise it will not be correct. So these are the main points that I want to tell you about the research title. So research title can be modified or changed all along the way you do the research. That means as you do the research, as it is required, you have the freedom to make the necessary changes in the title, and it will be at the end you have to see it once again and see whether it is okay or not, and then only the supervisors or the examiners or evaluators will accept your research. Thank you. That's all for today. See you next time with another topic.